back here live this week on Balancing the Scales of Justice. Thank you all for tuning in this week. I'm Shirley MIllwood. I'm an attorney out at MIllwood Law Firm in Alexandria. I've been practicing law in Calhoun County and across the state of Alabama for nearly 15 years now. Just wanted to come on here today or this evening and have some guests here with us this evening. We have Laura Miller
That's okay.
with CASA, and we have two volunteers, David and Shayna Reed. We're going to let them talk in just a moment, but I wanted to bring CASA on here because CASA is an organization that is very near and dear to my heart. We have worked together for years, advocating for children, and I'm going to tell you, the work that you all do is invaluable. It's priceless, and I want you all to know what CASA stands for, what CASA does, and how we all work together in the judicial system for the best interest of our children. And I hope that listening to this, I want you to listen to what we're talking about today and to consider becoming a CASA volunteer. This organization is ran by volunteers who come in every day and they devote their time to these children in our community, these children that are in foster care. And I hope that during listening to this that you will find it in your heart to want to help CASA, and we hope that you will become a CASA volunteer and come help with these children. So at this time I'm going to turn it over to Laura Miller. She's the Executive Director at CASA, and I'm going to let her explain to you what CASA is and what CASA does for our community and for our children.
Thank you, Shirley, for that introduction. I don't know what I have left to say. You did a great job explaining what we do, and I'm so grateful that you have us on your show today because CASA is really needed in our community. So CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates for Children, and it's a national program. So we have CASA programs throughout America. It's in almost every state right now, which is amazing.
Awesome.
So the Alabama CASA Network is what we have here in Alabama, and our programs are broken down into counties. And so we are CASA of the Chehaw region. We have our own 501, we have our own board, that kind of thing. And so our program covers Calhoun and St. Clair County. The majority of our cases are here in St. Clair County right now. We actually served 361 children last year.
361.
361.
And I can believe that, being in the courtroom with you all. I'm going to tell you, serving as a guardian ad litem for children and advocating for children over the years, I was here doing this work when CASA first came into our courts. And I can remember as a guardian ad litem, we were very reluctant to welcome you all in, you know, because we just had our way of doing things. And CASA came in, and all of a sudden, you know, we have other people that are coming in, being a part of our team, interjecting ideas and complaints or suggestions or whichever it was. You know, it may not have always been good, but if it wasn't good, it was only because you were advocating for what was in the best interest of the children. And when we say it wasn't good, not that it wasn't good for the children, but just, you know, for what we had going on. And so there was a lot of reluctance in our bar when CASA came in, and I remember that. But I also remember saying, hey, let's give them a chance, because whatever we can do for our children, then let's do it. And, you know, what I've learned is the more people that we have on our team, the better our children are, because the more people we have advocating for our children. And so it didn't take me very long to learn how valuable CASA is and how valuable they are to our children. And I was embracing them and have just absolutely, like, I adore you all and I adore everyone that works with CASA and what y'all do. So anyway, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and.
Yeah, thank you for that. There was some reluctancy when we first came on between the guardians and DHR, and I'm so thankful that our judges took that chance on us first. You know, the judge has to ask you into the county to be able to serve our children, and we gave it some time, and I think everybody really started seeing the benefit of having CASA on cases, and I'm so glad that you gave us a chance and you were patient with us, and we get better and better every year.
Absolutely.
When you say that we started I was here in 2017, I think we had about 20 children. So we've grown from 20 children to 361. That's probably 80% of our children. And our goal is, of course, 100% of children. But to get to 100% of children served here in Calhoun County, we need more volunteers. So our program, like you said, is volunteers are at the heart of our program. So I am the executive director, so that means I have a lot of paperwork. I manage the organization, I oversee funding, that sort of thing. But our volunteers are the ones who are boots on the ground with our children, and they're doing the work. So how CASA works is when a child comes into care, when DHR has to intervene in this child's life, and then the court also has to intervene, that child is given a caseworker, that child's given a GAL, and that caseworker can be overwhelmed. Right now in our, in our whole state, our DHR workers are overwhelmed. And they're great workers, they have great hearts, but they have a lot of children, they have a lot of cases. And our GALs, they also take on a lot of dependency cases as well, while also taking on their private practice that's paying the bills. And so everybody has a lot of children. And the special thing about the CASA is our volunteers may only work with one family. And so this child that comes into care, when everything's changing, when their teacher's changing and their homes are changing, and foster parent might change and their caseworker's going to change, and it seems like nothing else is consistent in these children's lives, that CASA advocate is consistent. Our goal is that children don't have to have different CASA advocates. Our goal is that the CASA advocate be the most consistent. And our CASA advocates go wherever our children are. I think David and Shana may tell you soon that the first case that we gave them, they were traveling to Huntsville. And so, and they told these children when they met them that we will go wherever you go, whether you move to Huntsville, whether you move back to Oxford, whether you move to Montgomery, we're going to go with you. And these two have been the most consistent people in these children's lives, and I think that it's made all of the difference. So I think I want to hand it over to David and Shana. Fun fact, last year they were named CASA Couple of the Year.
Yay.
And it was a great award. They work so well together, and they take cases together. And our couples that come in that sign up for training, that go through the 30-hour training, and then get sworn in by the judge. What was I saying? The couples. Gosh, I lost my train of thought. Okay.
That happens.
Yeah, so our couples, they can choose to take cases together and work them together, but we also have CASA couples who work separate cases, and they use each other to bounce things off of.
Nice.
Because, of course, what we do is confidential. We work with confidential juvenile cases, and those cases are private to us, but when you talk your spouse into volunteering with you, life gets a lot sweeter when you can do that together. So Shana and David, I'd like to hear from you guys on what it's meant to you to volunteer.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say it's been life-changing for me. I love giving back to the community. It's a big part of what I do for work. But actually getting the one-on-one interaction with these children and just knowing that you're actually changing their life is super important. I do value like going in as a couple because for one, you get to help more kids. I think the family of 4, that was really cool. And they get 2 constant people in their life,
True.
which is good. And I don't know, it's just it's rewarding. And
True.
Yeah.
And I guess, time is our most valuable asset here on earth, right? Time is more important than money. You can't buy time. And so when you volunteer time, that's very valuable. And when you can give back to your community like that and give your time, that's the most valuable thing you can give. And you can be a part of your community and be a part of changing children's lives, and children are the future. So they're going to grow up and be part of the community someday. So it's great to give back to the community in that way.
What inspired you to become CASA volunteers?
Well, it's actually started before he did, so I had a year in before I drug him in. But I had honestly been seeing a lot on social media. I had some friends that were posting a lot about it, and I knew that I wanted to volunteer after the pandemic. I knew I was like, I've got to quit moping, and I want to do something. I want to get involved in some kind of way. And this seemed like a very, very unique opportunity, more unique and more involved than other volunteer opportunities. So I interviewed with the staff and learned about it, and I really love the staff at CASA. They're amazing people, all of them. So we're kind of like a family. So
that is true.
Yeah.
That is
so
true.
I think it's a great volunteer opportunity for sure. It's very unique and something I don't think anything else is like it.
I love that you said it's unique.
It is.
Because we serve these children by a court's order, which I think is really cool that judge, and in our county it's Judge Locker and Judge Wright, they ask us to come in at the most precious, fragile time in these children's and families' lives, and they trust us with that. And so to be able to do what we do, we have a court order asking us to do that. And that's unlike any other program, I believe, in our area that's working with children right now.
And the nice thing is that court order also gives you access to these children and prohibits anyone from denying you access to these children. And if they do deny you access, the repercussions is not good, as we have seen in our courtrooms before. And so it's, David, how did your wife serving as a CASA volunteer inspire you to become a CASA volunteer with
I
her?
was actually forced by Laura. So, no, but it's one of the best things I've ever done. I was, through work, able to donate some money to CASA for a Halloween party.
Yeah, Lisa was very appreciative.
Yes.
Nice.
So we did that, and then I actually came along with Shayna to the party, and ended up playing kickball and football and everything else with the kids. And Laura came up to me and just said, "You're doing this. You don't have a choice." So
That sounds a little aggressive.
Yeah.
You need to talk to this Laura person.
But no, it's truly one of the most rewarding things you can do. And if you do it with your partner, the really cool thing is then you have a secretary that can do all your paperwork for you.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
But the cool
My
thing
job.
about the case we were able to assign you guys, y'all said y'all can serve more children. You serve 4 children.
Yeah.
And there's some teenagers in the mix, and there's a teenage boy in the mix that you're the perfect fit for, and a teenage girl in the mix that you're the perfect fit for, and then probably 2 of the most precious children I have ever met that I was heartbroken to have to give up, but I knew they were in good hands with you guys. So. And I think they're ready to take a new case, Shirley. I think we convinced them by the time that we leave that they need to pick up another child.
Fantastic. And so real quick before we take a break, we're about to take a break. Have you regretted your decision to become a CASA volunteer?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Never.
You have 0 regrets.
Not at
No.
all.
Yes. And when we come back, I want to talk about kind of more of what you two, the 2 of you do as a volunteer, being boots on the ground. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back in, I don't know, a few minutes.
Not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 23-24 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox, 24 models. You got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Good evening. We are back from our quick break, and we're here to talk some more with Laura Miller and David and Shana Reed. Laura Miller is Executive Director at CASA, and David and Shana Reed are CASA volunteers. And I hope that y'all have watched the first half. If not, please rewind this and watch the first half after it's once it's over, because I want you all to learn more about CASA and what a benefit CASA is to our area. I'll also add that in addition to volunteers, they also do accept donations, and I know we have several large donors in Calhoun County and probably surrounding counties that do make monetary donations to CASA, and those donations are really significant to helping CASA continue working and operating. I know personally myself, I went to the Christmas event at Crest Building, and I believe the Crest owners donated the venue for that CASA event. It was the absolute most magical experience for these children. And when these children are in foster care, it's just to be able to provide things like that for the children and allow them to be able to celebrate Christmas and have Halloween parties and have, schools out parties and whatever it may be. And then I think there's even like maybe a foster care day or something where y'all just have like a get together during the summer and bring all the kids together and let them enjoy each other and enjoy fellowship. And I'll tell y'all, just having worked with these children, there are a lot of these children that when they come into care, they're in care for a long time and they have no family outside of the foster care system. And so when they come into care, they get assigned a team, and we call them the ISP team, Individualized Service Plan. And so the people who serve on those teams are the guardian ad litem. Every child must be appointed a guardian ad litem, which is an attorney who's licensed to practice law, but also is certified has a special certification as a guardian ad litem. It's the DHR worker. There's a DHR supervisor. There is a CASA. There's a CASA supervisor, a CASA volunteer, or several volunteers. In some instances, it may be counselors. It might be therapists, it might be behavioral aides, just a whole group of professionals, whatever. We're always going to have DHR, GAL, and generally a CASA 99% of the time, especially in Calhoun County. But then the other professionals depend on the needs of the family. So we all come together as a team and we discuss the needs of a family, whether it's the mother, the father, the grandparents, the child, whatever those needs are. And then the department puts, and I say the department is in DHR, the department puts services in place and they provide those services to those families, because the objective is for these children to be reunified with their parents if these children can return to their home safely. And so for these children to be able to be returned home to their parents, we have to eliminate all health and safety risk to these children before they can be safely returned. And so we all come together and we work as a team and we advocate for those services, and we advocate and we push these parents, like we encourage them and we encourage these children. And and every time a child is moved, it's a traumatic experience. And so every time a child is moved from their placement or their home, they are experiencing trauma. And that is one reason why CASA is so critical in our area, because when a child is moved from the home or moved from their placement, the DHR worker is going to go see them, but I tell you what, that CASA worker is going to go with them every time a child is placed in a different place, and they're going to be with them every step of the way. And so I'd like for David and Shana, for y'all to talk about what y'all actually do. As like, I can't help it, it brings tears to my eyes. But what y'all actually do when you're out helping these children.
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is don't be scared to volunteer. It's not, it can be heavy on your heart, but it's worth it. But just the time you spend with these kids is so impactful. It can be as simple as I've just went to school and had lunch with them, and you can just tell it makes their entire week.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really
Or
does.
just-
You'd be amazed at
just
the
stopping in their house just to check, hey, I was just thinking about you today. And really? You, yeah, because like Laura said, you're that constant in their life. Especially as a child, you know, you have all the normal emotions of being a child, and then add on top of it this chaos and stress and just a bad situation. They deserve that constant.
You know, and just to throw this out there, you know, one thing that people may not realize is a lot of these children, when they get moved from their homes, all of their belongings go into a trash bag.
Yeah.
They go into a trash bag. So I always try to save duffel bags and suitcases and donate those to DHR. So, you know, those are things that are great as well. So when these children are moved, you know, they actually get to put their belongings into a suitcase and roll their suitcase like most of us do when we're going through the
dignity.
airport. Yes,
Yeah.
Dignity in
just to
that.
have some dignity. There are so many things that these children can need, and while their needs are filled, there are those extra things that are luxury items. You know, for a foster child, a suitcase is a luxury item, and those are things we take for granted every day. Have y'all gone to like the hospitals and places like that to visit your children?
Yeah. Foster homes.
Yeah,
Foster homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
We
you
go
have
see our kids anywhere
Yes.
they are.
Yes,
So if they
wherever.
are in the hospital,
Yeah.
like a behavioral unit, you know, we see them wherever
So
they
you just
go.
haven't had
A hospital situation. So yeah.
right
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
And so y'all have 4 children currently that
Yes.
you're.
Yes.
And are they siblings?
They are all
They are.
siblings.
Yep.
Yes.
Are they
Yeah.
placed together?
Not all
No.
together. So
They're not.
Yeah.
So making time for all of them.
Yeah.
And you're kind of not necessarily that connection to their siblings because they don't always get to talk to them regularly. So a lot of times they'll ask you, oh, how's so-and-so? And just getting that report, that's important to them as well.
And y'all can even vouch for this. There are so many times that we have sibling groups that are in foster care that are not placed together. And, you know, we will advocate for them to be able to visit with each other. There are times that them visiting each other is not in their best interest for, you know, whatever reason may happen. But imagine as a child, as you said, going through all of these other emotions you go through, and you're being removed from your home, the only home you've known with your parents and your siblings, and you're placed into a strange place. But not only are you placed in this strange place, but your siblings are placed in a strange place that's not the same place as yours, and they go into a completely different home. And you know, that's traumatic. That's traumatic for children. And
Yeah,
go
sure.
ahead.
Oh, yes. And it's, you know, and it could be as little as just once a month, you know, just checking in, you know, like he said, going to have lunch at school with them. They love that. And that's a luxury, like Subway. He brought his guy Subway. And he was just like, who's so
He
excited
couldn't remember
about
the last time he had Subway.
I know.
And
Yeah.
that just,
Yeah.
when you think about it, it's
Yeah.
something that small made that big of an impact.
Right, and I really love myself. I love to make their birthdays a big deal, so I find out like their favorite
awesome.
cake flavors. I might bring them some cupcakes, and they're just like, that is just, you know, it is a luxury for them, and you know, it's something that, you know, you may provide your kids a birthday cake every year, and it's expected, but they may not have a birthday cake or cupcakes every year. So when they get that, it's just extra special. And as you mentioned, my girl, my teenager, she says, "You're going to follow me around everywhere, aren't you?" She said, "Everywhere I go, you find me." That's what she told me. So I said, "Yes, I do."
You know,
So-
and that birthday cake or those cupcakes might have been the first time they've ever
Exactly.
that
right.
they've ever gotten a birthday
Exactly.
cake or
Yeah.
cupcakes for
Yeah.
their birthday.
And even just the thought of asking them what their favorite flavor is.
Yeah.
Something we
You
take
care.
for granted, but
Right.
they're like, well, I get to pick the flavor. Like,
Yeah, right.
And that can be heavy on your heart, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
And so when you're able to take these children their birthday cakes, or go eat lunch with them at school, or bring them Subway for maybe their first time, or they don't remember if they've ever had Subway or the last time, how does that make you feel?
Oh, the best feeling in
Yeah.
the world.
Yes,
Just
right.
absolute best
To make
feeling.
their day, and you know, and there's a lot of them are such great kids, and they don't deserve what they're going through, obviously, and they have no control over what they're going through, obviously. So it's really great.
And those moments make any of the tough, hard moments worth it.
Yes, true.
I think it's important to know that all of these needs that we're talking about are being met by people without the social work degree,
Yeah, no.
without necessarily
Yes,
any
yes.
social work experience. We train you on how to
Yes.
do that. These are everyday, wonderful people. I almost called you Chad. David. David is a store manager at Target, and Shayna owns her own business. We have volunteers that are mechanics. A lot of our volunteers are teachers. We have volunteers from all walks of life, as long as they are 21 years old, successfully pass the interview, the background checks, and pass our 30-hour training, then they're sworn into the court.
And how was the training?
It was not bad at all, and it was very educational and very informative. So it's a small price to pay, and it's very, very worth it. Again, you're donating your time, and that's a good thing. Yeah.
And to a very, very worthy
Yes,
cause.
exactly,
A very, very worthy
exactly.
cause, because you're meeting children where they are at the most traumatic times of their life. But Laura, I don't know how much time we have left, but will you tell the viewers watching how they can go about becoming a CASA volunteer?
I would love to. Our next training, I believe, starts on March the 10th, so it's coming up. And to register for that training, you go to chihacasa.org/volunteer, and you click register, and it'll send me all your basic contact information. And that's how Shayna started. And I
Yes.
sent you an email, got you an application in. We bring you in to complete your background checks, and then we get you started.
Fantastic. And just something that's been laid on my heart that I wanted to add. Y'all were on a case that I was GAL for, and I remember, I think it was you, Laura. I'm pretty sure it was. It's almost 10 o'clock on a Friday night. I get a text or a call from Laura, and
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Look, we deal with calls 7 days a week, 24/7, and one of our children had called complaining that they didn't have groceries. And I was going to order pizza and send it out. Well, Laura, her CASA volunteers went out on Friday night at 10 o'clock, purchased groceries and took them and delivered them to these children. What they do is just absolutely amazing. Y'all, thank you for joining us. This 30 minutes has flown by. We haven't had enough time, but thank you for tuning in. I hope y'all will tune in again next week, and I would love to have y'all back again.
Thank you, Shirley.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hello everybody, Scoot from Hooligan Harley, your one-stop shop for all your motorcycle needs, ranging anywhere from our new and pre-owned motorcycle inventory, all the parts and accessories you could ever ask for in our parts department, all the gear you could ever need while riding in our motor clothes department, and of course our award-winning service department. Don't forget to check out our events tab on our website to keep up with everything we got going on. And remember guys, if nobody has it, Hooligan has it. I'll see you soon.